Hello and welcome to the 2025 Race Brief. I want to welcome each and every runner to Race Week. Congratulations, you guys. You made it all the way to Race Week, and we are set for a fabulous weekend on the Black Canyon Trail this Saturday and Sunday, February 8th and 9th. I hope you guys are ready. I'm going to take you through a little bit of the race information and everything that you need to know leading up to race day, and hopefully answer any of those last-minute questions that you have. My name is Jubilee. I am your race director, and I am so excited to host each and every one of you in the desert this weekend. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take you to the Black Canyon Ultras. This is your main website. If there is anything, most of your information is going to be found within this website, but we did just release the 2025 Runner Guide, Crew Guide, and a way to find your bib number prior to the expo. So we'll go ahead and get started, and I will show you a little bit of your race day info. All right, we'll start with the runner guide. This is updated just this month, and this is the latest. So all of the information, latest information is going to be contained in this guide. We want to, of course, welcome each and every one of you to this edition of the Black Canyon Trail Runs. We've got a 100K set for Saturday and a 50K for Sunday. The 50K is a new distance from the 60K that we've previously held historically, and we are excited to debut the 50K this weekend. All right, the next page is going to give you just a quick look at your race weekend, the start location, the addresses, your cutoff times for both distances, the Western States qualifier, and all the Western States information. Of course, we are a Western States 2026 100 qualifier where the runners must complete the 100K distance under 17 hours in order to be eligible for the Western States lottery. And then, of course, we are so excited to be again selected as a golden ticket race. The Black Canyon 100K is a golden ticket race for the Western States 2025 race this year, and the top 3 men and women will be awarded a golden ticket at the finish line. Your finish location for the 100K is going to be at Emory Henderson. We'll talk about this a little bit, but please note that this is a very limited no parking situation, and so we do have running shuttles for all of your crew and for runners. The 50K finish is going to be our Deep Canyon Ranch. We did this last year. We'll get this out of the way. Boop, boop, boop. Last year, we added Deep Canyon Ranch, and we're excited to be back. And we are looking at some decent weather and no water crossings this year. So you guys will be welcome to Deep Canyon Ranch again for the halfway point of the 100K and the 50K finish. We have 3 opportunities for bib pickup. We'll start tomorrow, Thursday, February 6th. At Aravaipa HQ. If you are local to Phoenix or if you are already in town, we'll host you from 12 to 5. We actually have a drive-through that will come through our main headquarters, and so all you have to do is drive through anytime from 12 to 5, and you can pick up your bib early here in Phoenix. Otherwise, please attend our Runner Expo. Our Runner Expo is kind of our main event pre-race gathering for all of the athletes, vendors, sponsors, and everyone. We've got a pre-race shakeout hosted by Hoka, Goo, and Goreware. And we also have the elite athlete panel starting at 1:30, where you can do some interviews, and we'll have a mountain outhouse kind of pre-race show. So come to our Runner Expo, and then you can pick up your bib here. For the 50K, we have an additional pickup on Saturday at Deep Canyon Ranch from 1 to 7. So if you are unable to make it Thursday or Friday, you can come Saturday before race day at Deep Canyon Ranch from 1 to 7. I will note that there is no race day bib pickup for the 2025 100K or 50K event. This is something that we implemented last year, And just for the size of the race that we are hosting, we are no longer hosting race day pickup. So please pick up your bib early and be prepared before you come race morning to the start line. All right, we're going to go over some basic rules. Here are your basic rules for the trail running and trash, terracycling. You can read all that information. This is a closed course, so we're going to stay on course. You're going to follow the marked route in the race direction. Cutting or deviating from the course results in a disqualification. If you do get off course for whatever reason, you can retrace to the last known marker and then continue your race, but do not deviate, find kind of a route through and think that you can continue. So make sure that you stay on course and run the course as marked. Trail etiquette, the course will be shared with the public. We are on, for the most part, BLM land, and so there are a lot of equestrians, there are a lot of recreational bikes out there as well. So just make sure that you understand the right of way for trail etiquette. We are going to be on BLM land, and we have people out on this trail every weekend. No pets. No pets are allowed on the course. You can have pets at Deep Canyon Ranch. We allow, if your crew or your family or someone wants to bring a dog to Deep Canyon Ranch, you're welcome to bring those on at the crew areas on leash, of course. Unfortunately, they are not allowed on the shuttles. So for anyone who wants to attend the finish line at Emory-Henderson, just make sure that you are aware that dogs are not allowed on the buses or the shuttles going to Emory-Henderson. Of course, then there's no pacing with pets or anything like that. So just make sure that if you do have dogs, they are on leash and they are not on the course. No littering. Discarding of waste, even the organic materials, toilet paper, please don't do that. Please don't leave toilet paper out there. If we do catch you or rangers out on the trail, or even someone from the public catches you and you're reported, it will result in a disqualification. So please carry your trash. Do not litter on our beautiful trail and in our beautiful desert. Trekking poles are permitted. Quite a bit of climbing. It is a little bit deceiving for the amount of climbing that you will do, but trekking poles are absolutely permitted during this race. Of course, respecting others, be courteous of all of our volunteer staff, officers, park rangers, trail users, and fellow participants. Please don't be rude. That will get you disqualified as well. Drops and distance changes. The 100K runner who stops at the Deep Canyon Ranch, if you drop, you do not get a 50K finish. It does result in a DNF. And the same thing with the 50K. At any point, if you drop along the course, it will result in a DNF. Cutoffs are enforced by gun time for your wave. So example, if you are starting in the first wave at 7 a.m., your final cutoff for the 100K is going to be 3 a.m. If you are starting in the third wave, an hour later, so we do 7, 7:30, and 8 a.m., your cutoffs will go in that order. So 8 a.m. wave, you'll get a 4 a.m. total cutoff along the course. All right, we got finish times. Official finish time is based on gun time, but buckles are awarded by chip time. So in the case that we are starting 400 people on the track and it takes you a couple minutes to get across that first start line, your buckle will be awarded by the time you make it all the way around to the finish line. So if it's a couple minutes past, then we award buckles based on chip time. Just a couple notes on terracycling. If you have any goo wrappers or anything like that, you can find our containers at each aid station. And of course, this is a cupless race, so we do not have cups on course for any sodas or Gatorade or anything like that. Please bring your own container, and it helps us reduce our waste as an event. All right, let's get into the start. Here's your starting location. This is going to be at Mayer High School. And for the starting location, you will notice that you have runner drop-off for buses only that will come up to the Mayer High School. And then in the case that you want to drop off your runner, it's going to be down here in these parking lots, in these dirt lots, surrounding areas, but you will not be allowed to come up to the high school to drop off. So I want you to plan ahead of time and just make sure that you follow the rules accordingly, and make sure that in the case that you are dropping off in the morning and not taking a bus, that you understand that this is very limited parking. So it might be just kind of a quick drop off and then an exit by your crew. We've got waves in both events this year. So for the 100K, we have 3 waves every 30 minutes. And in the 50K, we have 2 waves every 15 minutes. This will show your when you will line up for your corral and then when you start. You can check your wave now if you go online to our Black Canyon website and you find your bib number here. It will take you to this screen and you can check in. So if I check in as Julie will start wave 3 at Saturday at 8 a.m. So you can, this is not me. So you can check your bib number and your wave online on our main website, find your bib number. I will note that if it says starting at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., you may be in a different time zone for Arizona. So just double check the time zone because by the time you get to Arizona, those waves will not only be printed, will not only be found online, but also printed on your race packet when you pick it up. Alrighty. When you get to the start line, everybody starts on the track at Mayer High School, and we do one full round the track, and then you'll exit the track and continue on the trail. So just like this. So just make sure that you are familiar with the bus drop-off, the runner drop-off, and when you are starting your wave. For those individuals who have requested a wave, so say in the 100K you requested wave 2 and you were placed in wave 3, we do have to equally distribute the waves. We have about 1,200 runners. No, I'm so sorry. We have about 1,800 runners total this year, which is the largest Black Canyon that we have hosted. And in order to, for the 100K, distribute equally, some of those waves were adjusted. So while you can request a particular wave, please note that those waves are not always guaranteed, and that there are some adjustments. However, if you are in the elite field and you are a golden ticket participant, you do need to be in the first wave. So if you are competing for that golden ticket on Saturday in the 100K and you've been placed in wave 2 or wave 3, please reach out to us and we'll make sure that we get you in that elite wave, because that is the elite wave for the competition of the golden tickets. Alrighty. Moving on, let me tell you a little bit about the course. You can read a little bit along the course and the course markings. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the course markings. We mark our course very specifically. We call it Orange is Okay, or Orange, of course, is your course. The trail is marked with orange ribbon and black polka dots. So the ribbon is orange with black polka dots or orange pin flags. So if you see orange, orange, of course, is okay. Check yourself. Wrong turns are marked with blue and white checkered ribbon. So if you see checkered ribbon along the course, you may have gone the wrong direction. Please turn around and just check yourself and go ahead and follow the orange. Orange is okay. Trail signs, if we are turning you or just kind of making sure that you are on the right direction for the Black Canyon Trail, we will turn you with laminated arrow signs. So please look out for those. Any critical junctions, you will find critical turn ahead. So anything like that, we just want to make sure that this is supplemental to your course marking. So orange ribbons for your correct direction, and then anytime you're going to turn along the trail is going to be guided through laminated arrows. Okay. Here's your key checkpoints. These are also crewable checkpoints. We've got to make sure that you hit every single one of these. Bumblebee Ranch. The first one is going to be, you're going to deviate from the trail, the Black Canyon Trail. You're going to follow a horse trail down to Bumblebee Ranch. So it'll take you to the main road, Bumblebee Road, across into the ranch. And then you're going to run through the ranch. That's where you get to connect with your crew, your drop bag, whatever you need there. And then you're going to run through the ranch and reconnect with the trail a little bit later. So just making sure that you pay attention as you're coming up on Bumblebee Ranch, that you are paying attention to a very critical turn, and it's going to turn you off of the Black Canyon Trail, across the road, and into the ranch. Deep Canyon Ranch, same process. It's actually going to pull you off of the Black Canyon Trail just momentarily. You're going to come into Deep Canyon Ranch, go through our timing, our aid station, see your crew, whatever you need to do, and then you'll connect back onto the Black Canyon Ranch through K-Mine. Black Canyon City out and back. We have done this year after year, but this is a very critical out and back. You'll come to a wide junction. Instead of continuing onto the Black Canyon Trail, you're going to come down to the trailhead, check in with our Black Canyon aid station, and then you'll go back the way you came and continue toward the river and continue south toward Cottonwood. Okay, so those are the three major junctions that I want you to be careful of, and just make sure that you hit each one of those timing points, because these are the three instances that you are coming off the Black Canyon Trail into a checkpoint and then returning to the Black Canyon Trail. Okay. Just a little bit about the race strategy. You can read that a little bit, but year after year, we see people just have a great time in the first 20 miles, and then the wheels fall off. So it happens for a reason, because the first 20 miles are a blast to run. It is downhill. It is fast. It is flat. You get after Antelope Mesa, you are just blasting downhill toward Hidden Treasure into the canyon, and it is a lot of fun, but it's also really easy to go way too fast in those first 10, 12 miles. So just kind of check yourself, check your pace, and realize that if you are in this race, you are not racing it until after Deep Canyon Ranch. Alrighty? Here's some just basic things that you need to know. You are crossing the Aravaipa roads several times throughout the race. So the Black Canyon Trail is going to intersect several of these county roads. These roads are traveled by OHVs, by trucks and locals throughout the day, throughout the weekend. So we just want to make sure that you are aware of every time that you cross. Please do your due diligence, look both ways, make sure that the road is clear before you do. We will have officers at most of these crossings, and so they will assist in crossing if it happens to be a busy road, maybe a crew road where a lot of crew are coming back and forth around Bumblebee especially, and around Table Mesa. Just make sure that you are aware and that you flag the sheriff, making sure that you are seen before you cross that road. Okay. This is the Wild West, so we do have shooting ranges along the course. So it is not uncommon to hear gunshots and gunfire throughout the race, throughout your experience. One of these major areas is at Table Mesa. So as you come into Table Mesa and as you leave Table Mesa, you will experience closer gunfire because there is a range very close to that aid station. But please rest assured that all of those shooting ranges are positioned away from the Black Canyon Trail. It just happens to sound like you are dropping into the Wild West, which, welcome, you are. There are gates. Most of these gates will be open right around Bumblebee, but if the gates are closed, just do us a favor and close them behind you. This entire area is used for grazing cattle by ranchers in the area, and so we just want to make sure that if the gate is there and it is closed, that we make sure that any animals that are supposed to stay where they are do. So please be mindful of the gates. Running in the dark, we give you just a little bit of kind of some planning for your drop bags, and especially when to grab a headlamp if you have headlamps in your drop bags. So if you have an anticipated finish between 18 to 20 hours, make sure that you have a headlamp in your Bumblebee bag. 14 to 18 hours, make sure that you grab a headlamp from Deep Canyon Ranch. And if you are in that 11 to 14 hour finish, you'll have a light ready at Table Mesa. Anything under that, you'll be able to finish within the daylight. If you do drop from the race and you decide that you do not want to go on, then all you have to do is please make sure that you are telling someone a couple of things. Please don't drop where your crew can just pick you up and then we won't know about it. If you're going to drop, please drop at an aid station. So one of our volunteers, and especially our ham radios, will be able to communicate that drop to us. So please don't walk off the course, and because we will be calling you later. So we just want to make sure that we are accountable for every single one of you coming out to the desert. We want to make sure that you are safe, you are accounted for. And if you decide that today was not your day and you decide to leave the course, just make sure that you are going to do that at an aid station and not midway between aid stations. Okay? A little bit about our weather. This race is so much fun for me because the weather is just likely to change from year to year. Last year it snowed overnight, and then we started in the snow and the muck and the mud, and it was a lot of fun. This year it has actually been one of the driest years that we've experienced, and so there are very dry crossings. There's no water in our crossings for the Agua Fria, and it will feel warm. So we are looking at a high of 73 for the day, and that will feel warm, mostly because you will be out there exposed to the elements. Overnight, you're looking at 40s, and then as we start up at Mayor, it's a little bit higher in elevation, so you're looking at a start within the 30s. So just making sure that you bundle, that you dress appropriately, that you have layers within your drop bags or your packs as you are traveling through the course. If you do want to dress in warm layers before the start, you can shed those layers. We will actually have warm-up bags available to every single runner. So as you arrive to Mayor, go ahead and pick up a warm-up bag, label that warm-up bag, and then you can shed that layer at the finish or at the start, right before the start kicks off. Just toss those in the field and we'll go ahead and pick those up. If you want to go to Goodwill or something like that, just pick up some extra layers, just making sure that you are comfortable and that you are kept warm, because 30 degrees, 35, 38 degrees still feels very cold here in the dry desert. So yeah. Here is your medical information. We do have an experienced medical team. MedStar Solutions is there for you, and they will be roving along the course. That number there, 480-269-4126. Please program that into your phone. That will also be printed on your bib. But before you call 911, please call this number because we have trained EMTs and paramedics on course and available to you, and they know this course and they know how to get to you much quicker than a regular dispatch from 911. So please don't call 911. Please call this number instead. From any other inquiries by runners or crews during the race, you can contact Race Command. It is available to you. That text number is 602-830-4526. Can be used by either runners or crew, and that will come directly to our Race Command. If you see someone down on the course, if you are wondering where your runner is, you can text that number. All right, a little bit about the 100K. Here is a downloadable GPX. You can click that and grab it and put it on your watch. You have got all of the wave starts and cutoff times for each aid station along the way. Like I said, depending on your wave, your time and cutoff will correlate down the course. So if you are starting at 7:30, you have the exact same amount of time between aid stations that wave 1 and wave 3 has. Okay. Same thing for the 50K. Here is your downloadable GPX. 50K starting way up at Mayer High School, ending at Deep Canyon Ranch. No out and backs this year. And again, you will have those same cutoffs from, this is mirroring the 60K that we did last year. And then we went ahead and kept the 12-hour overall cutoff for the 50K. This may change in 2026, but we're going to see how people fare with this 50K this year. It should be a pretty fast and fun 50K, and we'll learn a little bit from the first year here. All right, so a little bit about the drop bags. Drop bags are available just to the 100K this year. So we have actually cut it from the 50K. Your 100K, if you are running Saturday, you can have drop bags at Bumblebee, at Deep Canyon Ranch, Table Mesa, and the finish. Couple of things. Drop bags are not available on course, but may be left at the finish line at Deep Canyon Ranch. So that is for the 50K runners. If you have drop bags, labeling is really important. So clearly label each bag with your aid station, your name, and your bib number. And then, of course, size limit. Please keep in mind that these are being hauled manually by staff and volunteers. So anything oversized, no suitcases, no large totes or anything like that, make sure that they are of a decent size. Crews have the same accessibility as your drop bag location. So the Bumblebee, this is also just for the 100K. And then for 50K, you can have a crew at Bumblebee. So for the 100K, you're looking at your crew locations, Bumblebee Ranch, Deep Canyon Ranch, and Table Mesa. For pacers are only allowed for the 100K runners, and they can pick them up starting at Deep Canyon Ranch. So that's around mile 31, 32, and at Table Mesa at mile 51. So you can have a couple different pacers switch out between Deep Canyon Ranch and Table Mesa, or you can have someone just run with you through the entire last 30 miles there. For pacer rules, all rules apply, all the race rules previously for the runners also apply to pacers. There is one pacer allowed per runner. Pacers must be human, so no pets, no bicycles, and pacers cannot mule or carry gear or supplies for a runner. So no muling, no carrying extra water, anything like that for your runner. A little bit about race timing. If you have family or crews or anything like that who would like to follow you along the course, make sure that you give them this link, live at aravaiparunning.com, and make sure that they can follow you as you hit each aid station. I will just note that due to the remote nature of this course, live tracking may experience delays, and it will depend on the location of that tracking and, of course, kind of our connectivity availability. A little bit about your aid stations. If you're curious about what we serve and what will be at each aid station, here is a breakdown of the hydration, the nutrition, And of course, please, please, please thank your volunteers as they are out there to serve you over 9 aid stations that we'll have. This is also just a reiteration of like your segments, your mileage, where you can have crews and where you can have drop bags. All right, we're going to talk about the shuttles. So this is the start line shuttle. If you have purchased a ticket for the start, you are going to park in the morning for the 100K at Anthem outlets. This is your route, so making sure that we are parking in this southwest lot here at the outlets. You will have accessibility to the restrooms there. They open the restrooms that morning for all of our runners boarding the buses. For Wave 1, you are going to leave Anthem around 6:45, 6:50, and arrive at Mayer around 6:30. This is about 20 to 30 minutes depending on the travel time of the bus, but 20 to 30 minutes before your wave start. For Wave 2 and Wave 3, your times are listed here as well. So just making sure that you jump on the correct bus for your wave. They are listed here. Same thing for the 50K shuttle. The only difference is it's going to be the location. So all 50K runners, you're going to park at Deep Canyon Ranch. That is going to be your finish line. And so you're going to shuttle from your finish line to the start line. And then when you finish, you will be there at your vehicle. One note, this is going to be an all wave board. So because we are starting only about 15 minutes between two waves, all of the runners who have tickets for the Deep Canyon Ranch 50K will board at the same time. So 6:05 is your boarding time for the 50K. For finish line shuttles, there is, and I will say this multiple times, but please make sure that you and your crew understand that there is no parking available at the 100K finish at Emory Henderson. This is an extremely small and limited parking lot and trailhead, and it allows for our staff and volunteers, and then of course the buses to make a round. And that's it. So there is no additional parking for anyone at Emory Henderson. Even some of our volunteers are shuttling in, our live stream volunteers are shuttling in, because of how limited it is. So this is off of New River Road. Please do not park along the New River Road. You will get ticketed by local sheriff's department, and they will tow your vehicle. So please do not park along New River Road. It's also very dangerous. So we have provided shuttles that are available to you for the entire day, starting at 1 p.m. from the outlets at Anthem. It's going to be that same route that is pictured above. And there are plenty of restaurants and restrooms available in the area. So your crews, your family members, your friends can find their parking there at the Anthem, and then at any time shuttle back and forth to Emory Henderson. So those shuttles run starting at 1 p.m. and continue through 5 a.m. to the very, very end of the finish there at the 100K. Okay, so you can shuttle multiple times if you want to. You can bring coolers, you can bring chairs. Please do not bring dogs, but anything that you need to bring along with you on those buses, you can. All right. I think the only other thing that I haven't covered is camping. So if you are camping at Deep Canyon Ranch, if you are a runner who has purchased a camping ticket in advance and you have that reservation is good from Friday through Sunday. And all you have to do is check in at Deep Canyon Ranch and you'll be shown where you can camp. So if you are in RV, car camping, or a tent, just check in with us as you arrive, or you can check in with Jackie, who is the manager of the ranch. She's absolutely fantastic, and she will show you where you can camp along the property. So that starts Friday, anytime between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. A little bit about our Black Canyon Trail Coalition, these are the volunteers who build, maintain, and just they are the keepers of the trail for the Black Canyon Trail. This is a small group of volunteers, and they are dedicated to making this trail beautiful, for keeping this trail beautiful. They do a lot of work along the trail throughout the year, and they are also currently building north to expand the trail as well. So if you are interested in supporting the Black Canyon Trail Coalition, they are a 501c3, and any donations are tax deductible. And if you want to support their cause, please do so. Just a real quick shout out to all of our sponsors. Garmin, Goreware, Goo, Satisfy, Squirrels, Nut Butter, and Tanry are going to be there on course and at the expo. And then, of course, Black Canyon is presented by Hoka. We are stoked to have Hoka back, and we look forward to an absolutely incredible weekend with everyone. For your cruise, all of the information that I just went over with the runner guide is also here in the crew guide. A little additional information is going to be driving directions to each one of the aid stations that are crewable. So I do want to make sure that if you take a look for the start, for example, you can see the limited parking that we have outlined for you. So if your crew is planning on viewing the start line, or if they're dropping off, just make sure that they stay within the green, because this orange is just for buses only. So there's no drop off for crew up here at the Mayer High School. You're going to drop off down here and walk up. So I just want to make sure that you are prepared for that. Otherwise, you can take a shuttle bus if you have purchased a shuttle ticket. Driving directions then to each one of the crewable aid stations. Just making sure that you are also minding the speed limit. These are dirt roads, dirt county roads. It is extremely dry, and it kicks up a lot of dust. So we want to make sure that everyone is safe and everybody can see, and we're not speeding along this area, especially since we have the race route crossing in front of Bumblebee. So just be mindful. Also, runners, be mindful that this is kind of a busy intersection. We want to make sure that you guys are safe. For crews parking to crew their runner, here is our main aid station right over here. And just stay within the outlined parking that is given to us by the ranch. Same thing with Deep Canyon Ranch. If you take a look, as you are entering, you are going to continue straight forward. And here's your event parking. I believe over here this year is going to be event camping. So RV camping, car camping, things like that. You've got tent camping up here, and this will be just general event parking. For the 50K, if you are planning to take that bus in the morning and you have a bus shuttle ticket, just make sure that you are parking up here, and then this is where you're going to get picked up, right down here. So they're going to do a little loop and then right back out. Please, as you enter the property, don't turn right. This is going to be my emergency access, and that is for my medical staff and staff only. So instead of coming all the way around and then getting confused and having to drive across the field, we're just going to keep you right on this road. Just keep going straight, and you'll run into our parking right here. Okay. Here is for Table Mesa as well. You can see down here, this is our main road for the Table Mesa Road, and the course does cross again. For crews, if you follow these directions, but also it is a Googleable, like in Google or Apple Maps. If you type in Table Mesa Trailhead, it's going to take you right here. So it'll take you right down here. If you continue on, this is all crew parking, and this is all crew parking. Please be mindful, however, there are individuals who have utilized this space for camping. So this is all public land, BLM land, where people can camp or have their RVs out for up to 2 weeks. So just make sure that you are not disturbing locals or anything like that. Please be mindful of your presence and be respectful as you approach the aid station. All right, so all of the same information for crews as for Runners, we just want to make sure that you are following all of the traffic and speed limits in front of the aid stations. We want you to be self-sufficient, understanding that the aid stations are just for runners. No parking zones or anything like that. Just please be respectful of that. You are going to cross in front of a couple of aid stations as you go on your way to Bumblebee. Please note that if it says no parking or no crews or anything like that, this is not a place for you to stop and say, I'm just spectating. It's not spectating. It is, you are there as a crew person, and you need to be on your way. So that is just because the aid stations are accessible off the road does not mean that they are permitted for you guys to slow down and cause traffic jams. So please just be mindful of, if it says no crew, it also means no crew, no spectating, nothing beyond volunteers. Okay. A little bit about your restrooms on course. This is actually good to add to the runner info as well, but we'll have restrooms on course for you along the way. And then, of course, the finish line shuttle for all of your friends, family, crew is repeated here. All right, gang, that is it. Here is all of the information that you need to know. I touched a little bit about how to find your bib, your runner guide, your crew guide. If there's anything that you feel that I have not gone over for you, if there are still hanging questions that you would like answered, and you just want to double check, make sure, you can email us at info@aravaiparunning.com, and we will get to those questions as quickly as we can, understanding that it is race week and we are in and out of the office this week setting up for the race. But for sure, if there's any questions that you have, you can also ask us at the expo, and we'll do our best to answer and make sure that you have all of the information and that you are comfortable and ready to go on Saturday and on Sunday for the 100K and the 50K. I am so excited to welcome everyone to this incredible trail, this incredible race. It is one of my favorite places. It is the most challenging race for sure that I direct, but I will tell you it is a labor of love because this trail is really pretty spectacular. And if you've never been to the Sonoran Desert, if you've never been to the desert, you are in for a treat because this is such a beautiful trail and such a beautiful weekend to be out there in the desert. So welcome each and every one of you. Thank you for paying attention. Please reach out to us if you have any other questions, and I will see you on race day.